2026 is the year that you're finally going to get your calendar under control, and I'm going to walk you through how to do it today. Because to have success as a business owner, you've got to get control over your time and over your schedule because your time is the most precious commodity that you have. The best business owners that I know are the ones who know how to manage their time. Now, it's not going to be perfect all the time, but you need to be running your business and not having your business run you. But how are we supposed to figure that out? You have so many things that are competing for your time all the time, it feels like. You have clients, you have employees, you have tech issues, you're doing your accounting, you're making sure that you do all your quarterly tax filings. And we haven't even gotten to the personal demands, such as kids. I have two teenagers who aren't driving yet, but I am their personal chauffeur. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. Attending the school events that they have going on, making sure their homework is done, keeping up on their grades and any missing assignments, cooking dinner every night, getting laundry done, doing dishes. And even though like my kids help and my spouse helps, like it's on me to ensure it all gets done. So how can we do all of these things personally and professionally? So we're going to work on improving the habits and the skills that you need to better manage all these demands that you have. Now again, it's not perfect. I don't have it all figured out, and some days can really be harder than others, it feels like sometimes. But I'm a lawyer. I run my own law firm. I manage a caseload of about 60-ish active clients right now. I've got a spouse and two teens, as I mentioned. So I've got one teen in middle school in 7th grade, and I have a daughter who's a sophomore in high school. And I show up for them, my family, and even more importantly, I have come to learn over recent years that it's more important, and I used to not do this, but I've been able to start showing up for myself. And one of the biggest things I've been able to do in the recent years, and I've shared with you before on this channel, that I used to say I lost about 50 pounds. It's more like 60 pounds now. It was a lot of extra weight that I was carrying. It took me about 3 years to lose it. From like 2021 is when I really kind of took it more seriously, through like 2024. Now, this is not a weight loss channel by any means at all, but it's more a channel of like prioritizing yourself and being able to pursue your dreams and to build your business in a way that works for you and that supports how you want to live your life. And so my weight loss journey has been a big part of me figuring out how to prioritize myself so I can then in turn show up for everyone else in my life. Oh, and by the way, I probably should introduce myself. So I'm Darcel Lobo. If you're new here, welcome. Thanks for joining. If you're returning, welcome back. So let's get into it because we all have the same 24 hours in a day. So let's kind of dive into how we're going to use them. I'm going to give you 5 like tangible things that you can start doing today to better manage your time and take back control over your calendar. The first thing you are going to do, number 1, you're going to grab a pen and a notepad and you're going to start tracking your time. All the things that you do. And for my lawyers who are watching, I'm not talking about just billable time. I'm talking about all of your time for 1 week. You're going to write down what you do, when you do it, and how long it takes. And I mean everything. I'm not talking about just work stuff. You need to know how you spend your day, because before we can take control of your time, we need to know what you're currently doing with it. Okay? When I have my law firm owners do this, it's usually pretty eye-opening for them, especially when they realize that they've been wasting time doing things that are not productive or valuable to their day. So I've had not just my law firm owners, or really any business owner, but also the employees to do this. And you might have to push a little bit with the employees to get them to do this, but it's really important that they do if you're realizing that the time is not being managed efficiently in your business, if your team or yourself are not as productive as they could be. So that's the first thing we're going to do before we do any of the remaining tangible items in these kind of 5 items to get control of your calendar. That's number 1. If you have not done number 1, numbers 2 through 5 aren't going to help you a whole lot because you don't even know where you're starting. You don't know where your time is going. You're just kind of bumbling through your day. You're busy all day. You have a lot going on. But we need to really get clear on what we're doing and how our time is being spent. So, okay, hopefully I have emphasized the importance of not skipping step number 1. Number 2, we're going to decide your non-negotiables. What must stay protected in your schedule for you? These can be things that are, again, personal and professional. Like for me, it'd be being able to do school drop-offs and pickups. Maybe for some of you, it's getting workouts in. Maybe for some of you, it's going on daily walks, right? What are those non-negotiables that you need to be able to have on your schedule and prioritize for yourself? Because you became a business owner because you wanted to design your business in a way that fits into your life. It should not be the other way around. That's not why you went into business. So, for example, like when my kids were little, I'll give you something actually that I have dealt with quite a bit having 2 kids. So when my kids were little, I wanted them to be able to do all the things, right? So all the extracurricular activities and different sports and things like that. But not anymore. At least it's not unlimited, right? This is somewhere that I had to really have a boundary and have some non-negotiables. They are limited to just one sport at a time. And that might not work for all of you. Some of you may be into the multiple sports for each kid. That's not me. That's not my household. That's not how we do things. One sport at a time. So my daughter is in club volleyball and my son wrestles. And recently my son told me that he wants to take private lessons for the saxophone. Now he plays the saxophone at school in the school band, but he wants to have lessons outside of school. And that's amazing. Like, I don't want to deny him that, but you know what? He's not doing it now. That won't be happening until wrestling ends, which is in March. So because I cannot add that onto my plate of after school activities. So I can't do it. So I won't do it. And I don't do it. So hear me when I say this. For any of my fellow moms out there who are trying to do all the things and make sure their kids have the best lives, you don't have to say yes to everything to be a good mom. And I think that took me a while to figure out also myself. And so we certainly have days where it's, longer because we had, practice kind of late or things like that. But it's one sport at a time. That has been the rule in our house for quite a while now. No multiple sports. That's a non-negotiable for me. That is a hard boundary that I have and have had to make in our household just to be able to have the things that are important to me. And one of those things is being able to have dinner together. Most nights of the week, we sit at a dinner table and we eat dinner all together. If I have each kid in 3 different activities at a time, that's not happening. We're running through a drive-through most nights, right? And that's not what I want. Aside from just a home-cooked meal, there's such valuable time that is spent sitting at the dinner table, eating, and just talking to each other. So that's my biggest kind of motivator to make sure we kind of keep to that one sport at a time, is that we need to make sure that we have time for other things that are important to our family. Next, we are creating your CEO task list. What are the things that only you can do? Let's be honest, if you're like me, you're probably a little bit of a control freak. Now, I can accept that. I know that about me. But in order for me to be successful and to be able to show up as the best version of myself, as a mom, as a spouse, as an employer, as a lawyer, I can't do everything. This kind of ties into our last one a little bit, right? And I shouldn't be expected to do everything. There's 3 other people living in my house. And besides that, at work, I have support staff. I have help. And there are things that they can do that I used to do because I thought I was the only one who knew how to do them or could do them correctly or the way that I wanted them done. So you're going to make your CEO task list to figure out what are the things that only you can do so you can get out of your own way. And this is a conversation I have over and over and over again with my lawyers, is stop being the bottleneck. For my solo law firm owners, a lot of times they are the problem. And a lot of the time we spend working together is helping them get out of their own way. So we're going to stop being the problem in our own law firm right now. And you're going to make a list of things that you need to delegate, and then you're going to delegate them. And if you're a true solo and you don't have any help, we might need to start getting you some help. That can be remote, that can be part-time, that could be a virtual receptionist, that can be integrating some more technology. But there are some things that you probably need to delegate. Next, we have batching. So I think we're on number 4 now. Yeah, we're on number 4. So next we have batching. I have been preaching about batching to you since I created this channel, however many years ago now. It's been a few years. There's no way to be efficient if you are jumping in between different tasks, back and forth, nonstop. I suck at multitasking, and so do you. I'm sorry to tell you this if you think you're great at it, but you're not, okay? I've shared with you in prior videos kind of like my work calendar and how I do my batching and what that looks like. And I think I'll have it linked down below. I think I have a guide on kind of how I manage my calendar and my work week. So that's in there. So I'll include that. I know one thing that I should start batching that I don't do, but I definitely should be doing is kind of meal prepping. And so I know a lot of people do it on Sundays and kind of get all that organized for the week. I don't do that. That'd be awesome if I started doing that. I do kind of plan ahead for the week and do like my online grocery order for, pickup of the things that I need for different meals for the week, but I don't actually like prep those meals in advance on Sundays, but I do pre-plan it out. So whatever it is for you that you can batch, you need to figure out what are the repetitive tasks. And if you track your time, like I told you to do in step 1, it'll be very clear as to what tasks you need to batch and do together to, again, be more efficient with your time. All right, next we have number 5, last but certainly not least, is to be prepared for the interruptions, because they are going to happen. No matter how well you have planned your schedule, it will never be perfect. Things will always come up. Kids get sick, then they make you sick, right? That happened to me over the holiday break, right? It happened in my house. Also, like me, maybe your son will sprain his ankle right before you get ready to leave on your trip to Japan. That also happened to us last year, right? Or maybe you'll have to get a gum graft like me that I just did last month, and you will be in pain and unable to eat anything except for some soup, some mashed potatoes, and applesauce. For a week, I was swollen, I was bruised, couldn't see clients, like I was out for a week recovering from that. So all this to say that life happens, and you're going to need to build buffer time into your schedule because your schedule will not be perfect. We're not looking for perfection. What we're talking about when it comes to managing your time is planning for it with intention. So you're not always having to react to things, and that you're being more proactive with your time. We want to move with intention. Something else that you can do that I have been doing for 2 years now, maybe in my law firm, is I used to only do this once a quarter, where I would have 1 week where I didn't see any clients, and I just had that week to just get shit done. And you need that built into your schedule. So I used to do that once a quarter. Now I do it monthly. And when I first started to do that, I would think or worry that I'm going to lose 25% of my revenue, my business, if I take that week off. That has not happened at all. You know what has happened is that it has forced me to get tighter with the hours that I am working to even become, more efficient, handle my priorities better, and to get the work done. You don't need 4 weeks to get 3 weeks of work. You don't need 4 weeks to get the month's work done. You can get it done in 3 weeks. And note that third week that you have off is really for you to be able to focus on working on your business as the business owner that you are versus working in your business. Those are two completely different things. And we want to get you working on your business, moving it forward with intention. So, okay, I think that wraps up kind of these 5 steps on how I think you could probably be managing your time a whole lot better, both personally and professionally. I know what it feels like to be continuously pulled in different directions and to be in a constant state of what feels like just overwhelm all the time. So hopefully this has been kind of some good strategies for you and gives you some inspiration to finally kind of tackle getting in control of your time. You need to do this for yourself. Do not drive yourself straight into burnout. That is not why you went out on your own. That is not why you opened your own law firm. It's not helpful to anyone, and you deserve better. So, if you have any other tips that you want to share about managing your time, getting things done more efficiently, please share them down below. I would love to hear them. You know that I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe and all the things. And if this is the kind of content that you're looking for on how to improve your business, being a business owner, being a mom, kind of managing those things, I'd love to have you stick around, and I'll see you in the next one. All right.